Hey, what's going on, everyone? I want to do a real quick video, just throwing out my personal debate predictions. It's 5:30 here Eastern Standard Time. The debate's in 4 hours from now. Starts at 9 o'clock over at Hofstra University. And uh, I meant to do this video maybe a day or two ago, but I had gotten sidetracked and didn't put it forward. So nothing that organized or coherent. Just wanted to throw something out there. So my first prediction is that Trump will not be bombastic. I think this is a good guess to lean on. He has pulled himself. You know he has intentionally displayed himself to be presidential, letting go of Corey Leombowski, I think his name was, and bringing on Kellyanne marked a very noticeable difference in the strategies that Trump was employing, and it's a strategy that's worked incredibly well. Trump's poll numbers are up in every uh, poll that I can find. I mean, he's turned Pennsylvania into a battleground state. He's turned Colorado into a battleground state. And we're still in September. We still got another 50 days left to go. And unless something changes very drastically in Clinton's favor, I don't think we're going to see those trends reverse. So yeah, I don't think Trump is he's not going to be as bombastic as he was during the primary debates. I don't think there's any reason for him to do so. He did it when there was 16 different people, on stage, 16 or so, because he wanted to stick out from the crowd. It was a very crowded race, and he wanted to make an impression on everyone so that they'll be paying attention to him. Say something, ridiculous, so people go, "Wait, what did he say?" And then they go look it up themselves, and they realize, "Oh, hey, he's actually, talking sense." My second prediction, a lot less likely to be true, but I think you'll see it a little bit. Clinton is going to adopt Trump's bombastic strategy. She's the one who's going to be making a lot of character attacks. She's the one who's going to be trying to, be insulting, trying to, go for those low jabs, if you will. I think Clinton will try to do this because it fits the pattern with what you saw during the rest of the earlier debates in the primaries. Trump would say something, quote unquote extreme. Everyone pretends to be offended. The politicians realized that it was actually kind of working, and or that people were agreeing with what Trump was saying. Excuse me, and so they would try to move their platform closer to that, which ended up pissing off. It ends up not really convincing anyone who was leaning Trump, and ends up just pissing off the people who were supporting them beforehand. I think Cruz taking a harder stance on immigration, which you saw towards. I think it was before. I think it was before the Super Wednesday or something. A little bit before that. So yeah, I think she'll try to be insulting. I think she'll try to copy Trump's tactics. I don't think it's going to work. She's not going to convince any Trump supporters, certainly not his hardened fan base like I am, and not very many of the people who are leaning towards him were a bit more moderate on him. So yeah, she's not going to convince them. She's just going to annoy her own her own support base, because she has presented herself as the professional candidate. She's presented herself as the candidate who has the experience, and this Trump guy, he's just too out there, and we can't trust him. So yeah, that's my second prediction. My third prediction, more likely than the second, she will have a coughing fit. She'll have something health-related affect her, which, if collapsing in the 9/11 at the 9/11 memorial and having to rush to her daughter's apartment in New York City, Chelsea Clinton, which I believe is also licensed as a senior healthcare facility of some sort. She cannot stay up. She can't talk to a crowd for longer than a handful of for longer than a short amount of time. I think whatever illness she has. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't really want to. I can't be confident in what she has. I mean, in my own more layman's observation, I think she has some sort of early signs of Parkinson's. I think the symptoms she's had with the crazy spazzing out. She's done a few times. The constant coughing, the general weakness that the physical weakness that she's displayed. I don't see her being able to stand up for 90 fucking minutes. No coughing break. No bathroom breaks. She's not sitting down. Keep in mind during the Democrat primaries, there was that whole 30-minute absence she took in the middle of the debate, and she was clearly healthier then. So they might be hopping her up on so many fucking drugs that she'll get through it. But if she does that, then she'll be she will not be focused. She will not be coherent. She'll be all over the place because she won't be able to think because she's fucking high. High off, I don't know, codeine or some shit, whatever they give her. So yeah, Clinton's. It's obvious, so enormously obvious that Clinton has a severe health problem. And if people don't think this is important, look up pictures of Barack Obama in 2008 and look at pictures of him today. The dude looks like he's aged 20, 25 years. Those golf games are pretty stressful. But the presidential office is a taxing job on your physical health. And if you can't stand up straight for 90 minutes and talk in front of the country, then I don't see how you could be a good president. I mean, you don't even have the basic physical requirements, the basic stamina in the Constitution to stay upright. I don't want some sort of tragic, some shit goes down with Russia because the neocons and the Democrats want fucking World War III to start again, or Cold War 2.0, I should say. She can't be bedridden for days and be unable to lead and actually participate in the decision making. And if they have to take her decisions when she's that fucking disorientated and weak, how can she give good decisions? How can she give good directions for the people working under her? I don't think she can. I think she needs to be in fucking a hospital bed with a handcuff, sticking her to like some sort of attaching her to the bed. So yeah, that's my third prediction. Fourth, related to the first, Trump will stick to policy. He will get into policy details. Trump has a low bar for a lot of people. Many people have not been, they're not hip to the online meme world. They're not following, InfoWars or whatever alternative media network you can throw out there, and they just know of Trump what they've heard on the mainstream, which is that he's a horrible racist, right-wing Nazi. The people whose opinions can be changed will watch tonight's debate, and all Trump has to do, he has such a low bar. All he has to do is come off as reasonable, well-spoken. He doesn't need to take the hard lines tonight. He just needs to distinguish himself from Clinton, which is, incredibly easy for him to do because they're very different candidates. First time, in my lifetime, I can say that with confidence. They're very different candidates. He has a very different recommendation, and he represents a different course that the country can go on, aside from the, open borders, race baiting, gender, gender warring, Islam-loving globalism that Clinton represents. Corporatocracy is all she's got. Clinton, on the other hand, she has a very high standard to meet. all the health stuff I mentioned. She one cough, one sneeze, one a little bit of stuttering, she will be hammered by her. Not by the mainstream, but by everyone with a fucking Twitter account, and who praises Lord Keck for the rightful our rightful God and Savior that he is. Praise be upon him. And Harambe, who was his messenger, who was struck down by the horrible establishment. Uh, she's coming at it such a negative herself, in a lot of people's minds, and trying to dispute those accusations against her. Not accusations is being diplomatic. Those observations of her that she's a crypto liar. She couldn't tell the truth if you paid her. She has no principles. Clinton is not a leftist. She's not a conservative either. She is whatever you pay her to be. She doesn't have any original thoughts. Her policy recommendations are absent to near non-existent. She's not bringing anything unique to the table. And the negatives on her will be a lot harder to dislodge than the negatives will be for Trump. Um, and just to throw this out there, there's still the incoming tactical nuke that is WikiLeaks bombshell that they're going to drop related to the last big Clinton last big email dump that Julian Assange has. I'm pretty convinced he'll release it after this debate, before the second one. He'll wait for a quiet time of the week and then release it. Which is not to say I think Julian Assange likes Trump at all. In fact, I would say he's probably pretty critical of Trump, considering that Trump, his my personal biggest criticism of Trump, though I do support the vast majority of what he says, is that he's not going to be particularly good for privacy. He's not very big on destroying and smashing the completely ineffectual, completely unconstitutional, completely insane NSA service. I don't think he's going to be particularly friendly with that. Some other things like torture are things that I'm kind of iffy on, kind of on the fence about, not very comfortable with it. But if if it's necessary, if the experts, so to speak, recommend it, then well, okay, we can adopt some more Machiavellian tactics in dealing with Islam. Anyway, just throwing it out there. Wanted to get it before the debate started, and I'll make another video pretty much right after the debates. And just looking at what my predictions were, if they came true. Just some food for thought. Take it easy, everyone. Take care.